G'day, I'm Phil from Philtech, and have you ever wondered how you make an internal hexagon hole? That's what we've got to do for this shaft. It's got a hexagon hole on this end, and it's a distributor shaft from a Ford Cleveland V8 engine. And we're going to make the hole in this lathe. So let's get into it. This is a 2-axis CNC lathe with a Siemens controller. If we look inside the machine, we've got a collet instead of a chuck, and it's what they call a gang tooling arrangement. So the tools are mounted on this platen here, and they sit in a row, and it was a style that was very popular in the 90s. This is an older machine. The first tool we need is a turning tool to face off the end of the workpiece. I've selected a carbide insert, fairly pointy one I normally use for my finishing work. Okay, so that drops onto there. A couple of the T-bolts. It up into position, and about there. Use a square, precision square to align it with the table. Done. Our first tool. We now need a tool holder to hold the drill. So we're going to use that sort of holder and pop it on. We're using a solid carbide drill with through coolant. It's got tiny holes in the end, and we can pump oil through that. So we need to hold it in position with a collet, and this is a sealed collet. It's got little some sort of rubberized seals between the slots, and we'll put it into an ER16 collet system like so, and we can hook up an oil line to the rear end of that. So, need to tighten that all up now. Now for the next tool, which will be a centre drill, and that'll have a similar sort of collet system. So let's run through the tools we need to complete this job. We've got the first tool, which is the turning tool to face off the end of the workpiece. Then we've got our carbide drill. Then we've got a center drill here. Then we've got a internal groove tool. We're going to use this to create an internal groove at the back end of the hex, to allow for the chips of metal of when we create the hex to break into. And we've got our rotary broaching tool. Here we have the rotary broach tool that we've taken out of the lathe, and in the end here we've got the actual broach cutting part of the tool, and you can see it spins there, and it looks like it's actually in the axis of the holder, but in reality this is actually at a slight angle to the axis of the holder that fits into the lathe head. And that's because if we look here at you can see the hex hole in the end there, if we look at it here, what it's actually doing, it's spinning like this. That's exaggerated, it's probably closer to that angle, And therefore what it's actually doing is cutting one hex flat at a time as it progresses forward. And finally at the end here, we've just got a slender air blaster so that that can slip down inside the hexagon hole to clear out the chips. We're now going to set the x-axis, which is the cross direction axis, and we're going to use an electric edge finder to set the tool. So the first thing we need to do is put a collet, 20mm collet, into the spindle. Okay, we can now hold the edge finder in the collet. By closing the collet, we can drive the turning tool up close to it, and then go into fine manual control, and there we go, getting closer and closer. And when we, oop, there you go, in and out a couple of times. Yeah, you can see the red light come on the edge finder, so we now know we're in. We're now going to set the alignment for the drill. So we've taken the drill out and replaced it with a precision ground steel bar. We're using the coax indicator here. It's a device that when you rotate the spindle, so the spindle here is rotating, it runs the probe around the precision bar stock and shows you the error on the dial, and we can then just continue to adjust the position of the x-axis until that dial stops moving. So let's give that a go. I'll just move that a little bit there, do another rotation. Oop, I went the wrong way. That's getting better. The middle is somewhere over around about there. I think that's as good as you're going to get for this machine. And let's move on to the next tool now. We've loaded the tools back in, and we're now going to set the positioning in the z-axis. So we need to use a dial type indicator which has got a magnetic base. We can click onto the faceplate of the collet. We can drive the tools in one at a time. And load that into the computer. And we do the same for all the other tools. We're now going to put in the 1/2 inch collet. For those of you who don't know what a collet is, this is a collet. So it's a device to grab hold of the bar stock. It's precision bored to the size of the stock, 1/2 inch. It's got these slits in it so that it can contract, and this is the device that's mounted into the collet head on the spindle, and as you can see it's got a tape in it, so as it pushes up against the taper on the collet it contracts and grabs hold of the workpiece. So let's put that in. Held in with 6 socket head screws. Needs to be held in quite firmly because it is spinning at 4,000 RPM potentially. we'll now set the coolant hoses. So let's put one on there, put one onto the internal grooving tool, and we need one onto the center drill. The drill has got its own high pressure pipe at the back plugged into the back of its holder, so it's got its own feed. We need one over here for that, and we need to turn on the coolant. That's nice. You can see we're getting a good stream out of the two coolant drill there. Now, of course, with the workpiece here loaded into the collet, we need a way of making it that it only goes into the correct depth, because in fact it's got to go in by precisely 40 mil, so about there. So we need a way of stopping it sliding backwards and forwards. So let's have a look at the back of the lathe now to see how we're going to do that. Now here we are at the back of the spindle here. So what we've got is this device, a backstop that's adjustable with this threaded rod. We load it in like so. Secure it with 3 socket head screws. We can now just adjust this to the appropriate depth. And do up the lock nut like so, tighten it up, close the lid. Now we're ready to go. Carbide tipped turning tool. We're drilling the hole with our carbide through coolant drill. Then we're going to chamfer with a center drill. We're now turning the internal groove, blowing out the chips, taking a second cut of that internal groove, blowing out the chips again. Now we're broaching the hole with a rotary broach, and just about there, final clean up, and we're done.